This is a recorded version. New questions can't be taken. If you want to ask the question to the panelist, please join the live session every Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time, or 4:30 p.m. IST India time.
VYGOS is Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsang, scheduled every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Those who would miss to attend the Saturday session can listen to the broadcast of replay on Sunday at 4:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. The aim of this forum is to give the entire globe an opportunity to learn the ancient science of meditation and benefit from this pious service inspired by Sadguru Sadafal Dev Ji Maharaj, the pioneer of Vihangam Yoga. If you are interested in learning the technique or want to conduct a program at your place, and for any inquiries related to it, please feel free to write to us at info@vihangamyog.org.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone to this Vihangam Yoga Global Online Satsang. Like every weekend, we again join to this forum to discuss again one important topic which is related to our day-to-day life. In our day-to-day life, we always discuss about spirituality. We always discuss about how our life should be, how we should behave in our life. But what happens to us, what happens in our life is totally different than what we expected to do so, what we learn in our spiritual discussion. In all spiritual discussion, we always learn that our consciousness should be inward. We should always try to go inward. But what happens in real life? In our real life, our mind distracts us in all the worldly things. We keep getting distracted, and due to which what we are doing is not actually the wish what we want to do. So here the question which arises, that is really mind is stronger than the soul, because the wish of soul is to go inward. The wish of soul is not to go in the material objects, but what we actually doing is not what soul is actually wishing. So in today's session, we will try to explore, we will try to know that is really the mind is stronger than the soul, or something else is here which is causing this kind of situation in everybody's life. So we'll discuss all this topic, but as usual, we will start our session by inviting Lord Sadgurudev by the humble prayer Swagat Gan. So to put Swagat Gan in lotus feet of Sadgurudev, I will invite Tulika ji, who joined today's workshop from USA. So will come and present Swagat Gan in lotus feet of Sadgurudev. Over to you, Tulika ji.
Thank you, Sudhanshu ji. Jai Sadgurudev, everybody. Swagat Gan. आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आइए, अध्यात्म विद्या दिव्य ज्योति सोमरस बरसाइए, दोष दुर्गुण दूर करके शुद्ध हंस बनाइए। भेद गम गति ज्ञान गर्जन शक्ति द्वार हटाइए। खुले द्वारा शब्द सागर भक्त जन अनहवाइए। जन सदा फल विश्व शिक्षक शान आन बचाइए। आज स्वागत नित्य गुरुवर संत शुभागम आइए। बोली सदगुरुदेव की जय। Back to you, Sudhanshu ji.
Thanks a lot, Tulika ji, for the Swagat Gan. Our next prayer to His Holiness is the Mangal Gan. Let us immerse ourselves in His thought and pray to Him to eradicate all differences and ills among various classes and communities and have universal peace. Let this earth be a heavenly place with plentiful bliss, prosperity, and peace. I would again request Tulika ji, who joined from USA, to recite this beautiful composition. Over to you, Tulika ji.
Yeah, thank you, Sudhanshu ji. Mangal Gan. विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। वर्ग द्वंद्व अशांति दूर कर भाव भेद मिटाइए। सार्वभौम समष्टि सत्ता ध्यात्म राज्य बनाइए। भेष भाषा भाव जगमय ज्ञान पर दरसाइए। समृद्धि सुख शांति धरातल स्वर्ग भूमि बनाइए। विश्व शिक्षक जन सदा फल नीति स्वर अपनाइए। विश्व शांति नाम मंगल परम गुरु को ध्याइए। बोली सद्गुरुदेव की जय। Over to you, Sudhanshu ji.
Thanks a lot, Tulika ji, for putting forward the soulful words of Swagat Gan and Mangal Gan across. As we were discussing about the topic that is really mind stronger than the soul, because in our day to day life, we are seeing that mind is ruling you as compared to what the wish of the soul is. So, where we will get the answer of this question? What I think, what would be a better place than the one which is full with the knowledge of soul, which is full with the knowledge of Supreme Soul? Swarved, written by His Holiness Ananta Sri Sadguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj, is called the Encyclopedia of Spirituality, which is written by a true master. To establish an eternal and unchanging truth that is free from all illusion. As the name says itself, Swaha and Veda. Swaha means the soul, Swaha means the supreme soul, and Veda means the knowledge. So the book itself explains the entire knowledge of soul and supreme soul. In this book, Swamiji has explained in very detailed manner about soul, about mind, and and about each and every questions related to the spiritual world. So let us hear some relevant compilation from this holy scripture, which is related to today's topic, is really mind stronger than the soul. I will request Abhaji, who joined us from Australia, to give us few holy instances from this holy scripture. Over to you, Abhaji.
Thank you, Subhanshuji. Jai Sargudev, everyone. Swarved Path. दोहा जीव हृदय में वास है, गुणन व्याप्त सब अंग, आत्म चारों बदत है, विविध विशेषण संग. In the whole body, soul is present with its own existence, and it has the place in the heart. The above mentioned 4 types of souls are full of gunas. Amongst the 4 kinds of soul, 3 of them have been described in the above couplets last week. That is about Supreme God Parbrahm, Nityanadi Sadguru, and Akshar Brahm. आत्म केरी चेतना इंद्रिय कर्म कमाए, अंतःकरण स्व विषय में प्राणन प्राण कमाए. All senses in the body as well as pranas starts to work by the soul's energy. शरीर शरीरी आत्मा धर्म अधर्म कमाए, नश्वर तन में नित्य है, जड़ चेतन विलगाए. Soul is the owner of the body who earns dharma and adharma. This body is jad, whereas soul is eternal entity nitya chetan. These are the differences between jad and chetan. इच्छा ज्ञान प्रयत्न वे चेतन सहज स्वभाव, प्रकृति योग अन्य गुण लगे, जग संसृत दुख पाव. The inherent property of Chetan Atma is intellect, desire, and effort. It acquires further more qualities once it is associated with nature. This results in worldly sorrows. एक देशी अणु आत्मा, नख शिख तेज प्रकाश, सारा देह संघात में ज्यों गृह दीप प्रकाश. As a lamp kept at one place brightens up the entire house. Similarly, the soul enlightens the whole body right from toe to tip. नहीं वायु आकाश है, चेतन शुद्ध स्वरूप, सत्ता त्रिगुणातीत है, चिन्मय रूप अनूप. The soul is neither air nor the sky, but it is the purest consciousness and is superior, knowledgeable, supreme, eternal entity and is free of trigunas. मन की चाल कुचाल है, जीव ही उवट चलावो, मन फंदा में जीव पड़े, बिनु गुरु कवन छोड़ाओ. The characteristics of man is very bad. Man drives Jeev towards the downfall path, which gives the sorrows, and Jeev gets driven towards the subjectly joy and gets trapped with man. Without Sadguru, who else is there to free Jeev from the man and this life and death bondage? 5 शब्द ब्रह्मांड के और एक मन जान, अक्षर से उत्पन्न है, अक्षर अंश समान. Brahman's 5 words and man are born from Akshar. Therefore, these 6 are considered as part of Akshar. As soon as Akshar's dhar flows into the Brahman, all 5 words takes their position and man appears through the Akshar and starts to perform its duties with the group of sense organs. Jad is not the part of Chetan. Instead, Chetan dhar flows in Brahman and appears in these forms. Therefore, these types of Panch Shabd is called Ansh. मने सुरतिले उड़त है, बाहर दृश्य पसार, जीव भूले निज रूप को, भटकी रहे संसार. Man drives Surati to outer world and shows all the outer vision. Since Jeev has forgotten its own self by staying together with Man and is lost in this world, it faces all the sorrows. मन अरु प्रकृति असंग में सत्ता शुद्ध प्रकाश अनुभव है निःशब्द का भक्ति महासुख रास. When man and nature is left behind, and then the Atma, soul, shines in its pure form and achieves the great path of bhakti by experiencing the Nitya Shabd Param Prabhu, is the infinite joyfulness entity. By achieving the Param Prabhu, Parbrahm, life acquires full of joy. मन संयुक्त क्रिय कर्म है, भक्ति है आत्म धार. सुरति निरति ध्वनि गगन में, भक्ति परम तत्व सार. Any action done by man, that is karma, and the action done by pure soul, that is called bhakti. Karma is the subject of man, whereas bhakti is the subject of soul. Through bhakti, soul achieves Nishabd sound, which is Sar Shabd, and Param Tattva by transforming Surati to Nirati. Over to you, Sudhanshuji.
Thanks a lot, Abbaji, for explaining the essence of today's topic via survey in such simple words. As we just heard, Abbaji has covered from the very beginning. She started explaining the topic with the introduction of soul and mind, that what is soul and what is mind. Further, she explained that what kind of work can be said as the work of mind and what we can say as the work of soul. What is karma? What is bhakti? What's the origin of mind? What's the property of mind? What's the characteristics of mind? So she explained via the couplets of Swarved the entire essence of today's topic. We'll go further in discussion and we'll try to explore more today's topic, that what's happening in our day-to-day life, which tries to prove that mind is much stronger than soul, because it's always putting you in different situations which is as per mind, not as per the nature of soul. So let's hear our today's speaker, Mr. Vijay Kumarji, who joined from USA. I'll request him to please put forward your explanation on today's topic, which is really mind stronger than soul? Over to you, Vijay Kumarji.
Thank you, Sudhanshuji. Maya moha vidambana kutil kuchal kurup निषिदिन मन संसार में याद न प्रभु कर रूप दुखित दीन सब हीन हूँ मन मलिन गति आप जन अधीन शरणागत सुमिरन भजन नाप अन्य भरोसा कोई नहीं केवल आश तुम्हार मन वच काया कर्मणा. Everybody, this is Vijay joining from Edison, New Jersey. So we have topic today is really mind stronger than the soul. We lead our life on two tracks. First track is the one that we consciously choose in our life for the growth. And the second track is the one driven by uncontrolled forces of lust, anger, ego, greed, and emotions. Most of the time, the second track, driven by the evils of mind, drag us away from the goal and only slows down our progress towards the determined destination. This is why we are discussing the topic today. Which one is stronger? The deviating forces, uncontrolled forces of mind, or the power of soul and intellect? It is for all of us to introspect. Do we fall prey to lust, anger, ego, greed, and emotions, and do sudden deeds in the wind of mind that only results into insult, regret, and fall of our self-esteem? It is for all of us to introspect. Or at times we are able to apply brake to our body and mind and stop ourselves from doing act which is not appropriate at that moment. How can we always make good win over bad within ourselves? My dear friends, Vihangam Yoga is the track of practice, track of yoga that releases us from bad forces of mind and takes us towards the abode of highest wisdom, peace, bliss, devotion, and liberation. In 5 stages of Vihangam Yoga meditation, our consciousness only travels inward to attain control over mind, purification of our mind, Kundalini awakening, self-realization, and God realization. Hence, in Vihangam Yoga arena, the tussle of mind versus soul is nothing but tussle between outward flow of consciousness versus inward flow of consciousness. And the goal is to make soul succeed in reversing the flow of consciousness from outward to inward by weakening the opposing forces of the mind. Let's understand why we fail in making inward journey, why we fall prey to the tricks of mind. Why do we let mind overpower soul? Sadguru Sadafal Deji Maharaj very beautifully describes in Swarved why the vehicle of our spiritual journey keeps shuttling. It's keeps shuttling forward and backward and fails to make significant progress even in years of practice if not done correctly. Sadgurudev writes in Swarved, मना क्षणिक वैराग ले चढ़े उतुंग आकाश तुरत राग में गिरत है सद्गुण जीव विनाश. He says, mind by nature is fickle, wavery, which means no state of mind is long lasting. At times, when ambience is supportive, it may raise temporary vairagya, detachment from every subject. And very next moment, it will again get attracted towards any sensory pleasures, suppressing the good virtues of the soul. The reason mental vairag or detachment would not sustain longer is because the foundation of this vairagya is the wave or temporary wave of the mind, which is very short lived, very short length. Hence, when mood swings, detachment is replaced by the thirst of sensory pleasure just in a span of very short span of time, just in a moment, and our inward journey is hampered. Hence, those who step on the track of spiritual journey inspired by the temporary detached state of mind, in very short span of time, they backflip even from the intermediate milestone attained by then. The problem is we are actually keeping the qualities of soul dormant and relying only on the mercy of mind. When mind has the wave of vairagya, we practice spirituality, devotion, and when the wave of sensory pleasures rises, vairagya takes the back seat. Obviously, this is not going to work in spiritual journey. This is not correct way of leading the life. How can we make our spiritual progress firm and lasting? How can we make vairagya stand firm and lasting? How can we make soul win in reversing the flow of consciousness inward? It will happen so only when vairagya stands on the foundation of true knowledge of what is eternal and what is temporary, true knowledge of who we are and what is our goal of life. And when this vairagya is continuously protected against the wind of mind by the firm intellect, habit of good conduct, firm determination, and true devotion to the master. Vairagya will stand only when it is protected by the true devotion of the master, firm determination, a regular good conduct, and intellect. Hence, undeviated by the subjects of mind, with full faith on the wisdom of Sadgurudev, and with no doubt in mind, one must be well determined for making spiritual progress on the path of devotion. It is only then the evil forces of mind would fail to rise above the good virtues of the soul. Sadgurudev clarifies further in Svarved about what makes evil forces of mind stronger and what can make it weaker. Sadgurudev writes in Swarved, तृष्णा मार विवेक से चाह से होय अचाह तृष्णा शांत न भोग से अगिन शांत तृणलाह. The greed is like fire, and the bhoga or the materialistic pleasure is like dry grass. Just like putting dry piece of grass in the fire would not put the blaze off, but would only allow it to grow. The pleasures similarly does not pacify the fire of greed, but would strengthen it even further. The fire of greed may rise temporarily, but would subside down immediately when the intellect is at guard. Only when the intellect is loose, we allow the evils of mind to rise. But with intellect at guard and acting promptly, the fire of greed also can be kept under control. When our intellect is powered by pure knowledge, it does not feed any subject to the greed, and the fire automatically settles down. It dies down immediately. Sadgurudev clarifies further on what kind of good conduct one must develop to be able to suppress the evil forces of mind. Sadgurudev writes in Swarved, मन प्रसन्न को नहीं करे कर सद्गुरु प्रसन्न इसमें तब कल्याण है पकड़ लगा वो मन. Sadhguru says, one should never perform any act when the wind of mind is strong, but should always stop the body and mind and engage in the act guided by the principles of Sadgurudev. Mind is the greatest enemy of soul. Hence discard the instructions of evil mind and follow the principles of Sadgurudev alone. Only when mind is dragged into pious act against its will, the soul attains upliftment. The act of mind only leads to sorrow, fall, shame, jealousy, ego, conflict, whereas the act of Sadguru enforces good virtues in soul like firm intellect, bliss, love, satisfaction, mercy, patience, respect, peace, and purity. Hence, intelligent people would only perform act guided by Sadguru and not the ones triggered by the wind of mind. A yogi completely knows the play and tricks of mind, and yogi does not waste precious human life in entertaining mind, but utilizes the human breath in attaining the freedom of soul from the cycle of life and death. So let's all also make a firm determination on what we want to do in life. Let's recognize what can uplift the soul and choose to do only those things. At the moment of, the turbulence of mind, the wind of mind, just have patience. Hold on. Don't feed the bhoga to the mind at the moment it demands. Because only when you don't feed it, it will subside down. It will die down. It's just a matter of time. Keep the intellect at guard all the time. With this, soul will always win. You will always win and progress towards the spiritual upliftment. With this, I conclude. Over to you, Sudhanshuji. Jai Sadgurudev.
Thanks a lot, Vijayji, for explaining that today's topic is really mind stronger than the soul. As you were explaining the property of mind, which is very unstable by the nature itself. And further you explained the same thing when happened at the level of soul. The stability is the first nature of that thing. As you explained from Swaraveda, Mane suratile udata hai, bahar drishya pasar. So when you are firm, when you are proceeding in your own goal of soul, at that time mind presents the different scenarios in front of you. And as you explained, at that moment, we need to use our intellect. And at that moment, the intellect will decide either you are firm with your own goal or you are reluctant to go with the flow of mind. So the intellect plays a very important and vital role in this decision, that in your own life is your mind stronger than the soul, or the reverse is true. So we will discuss furthermore on this topic, but in between, let's go for a bhajan. I will request Rekha ji, who joined us from USA, to put forward a soulful bhajan in lotus feet of Sadgurudev. Over to you, Rekha ji.
Thank you, Sudhanshu ji, and Jai Shri Gurudev, everybody. Bhajan. प्यारे ज्ञान बिना भवधारा, प्यारे ज्ञान बिना भवधारा, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा, प्यारे ज्ञान बिना भवधारा। जल में मीन मरत है प्यासा, ना यह तत्व विचारा, प्यारे ज्ञान बिना भवधारा। बाहर भीतर दाहिने बाएं, पीछे अग्र मझारा, परिपूर्ण है पर पुरुषोत्तम, महिमागम अपारा, प्यारे ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा गोता मारे बीच समुंदर, पूछे जल कहाँ धारा। अमृत सागर माध्य हो हंसा, उलटी निरखो प्रभु प्यारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा। कस्तूरी है आप नाभि में, घास खोज मृगहारा। बाला बालक गोद लिए है, डोगी नगर मझारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा। बिन सद्गुरु कोई भेद न पावे, वेद की तेब अधारा। कहीं सदा फल अनुभव दर्शे, आनंद आनंद पारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा प्यारे, ज्ञान बिना भवधारा। Sadguru Sadafal Dev Ji Maharaj says, devotion without knowledge is a blind devotion that cannot uplift a person spiritually. In this bhajan, Lord Sadguru Dev says that the base for devotion should be the knowledge of Brahma Vidya. The Supreme Being is omnipresent, but this knowledge and its experience cannot be gained without Sadguru's shelter. Sadguru Dev, with different examples, tries to explain the importance of knowledge in the path of spirituality. With this, I would like to end here. Boliye Sadguru Dev ki jai. Over to you, Sudhanshu ji.
Thanks a lot, Rekha ji, for this beautiful, soulful, and melodious bhajan, as very relevant to the topic Jnana Bina Bhavadhara. If we try to compare this bhajan with today's topic, if you are not with the knowledge, you are in Bhavadhara. When you are with knowledge, when you are with your intellect, when you are with your soul, you are in the path of your spiritual journey, you are in the path of your supreme goal. If not, if you are under influence of mind, then you are in Bhavdhara. With so many other examples in this bhajan, Swamiji also explained this topic very clearly. As we were discussing in this topic in today's session, is mind really stronger than the soul? We requested all the listeners to put forward questions related to today's topic, and so many listeners already raised lots of questions related to that. We will go through those questions one by one. Anyone who want to ask question, they can either ask on our WhatsApp number, which is +646 653 492, or you can also ask in slido.com/VYGOS. There as well, you can put your questions. So let's go with the first question of today's session, which is related to today's topic. So this question is asked by Kumarji, and he asked, in spirituality, why is controlling mind is the first step? Why not directly work with soul? So I request Vijay Kumarji to question. Over to you, Vijayji.
Thank you, Sudhanshuji. So the question is, why do we need to work on the mind first? Why not we can directly work on the soul? Hope I'm audible to you and everybody.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this question is very relevant, especially for the spiritual journey in our life. This is more appropriate to understand why it is essential to work on the mind first. You know, in Santavani it has been said, माला तो कर में फिरे, जीभ फिरे मुख माही, मनवा तो चहु दिशि फिरे, यह तो सुमिरन नाहि. You know, there are many instances in our own life as well, when we sit for prayer, when we sit for practice, and we start chanting mantra, we use, let's say, some kind of thing to play the music or instrument, and at the same time, while being connected to the occasion, our mind is running somewhere else. So unless the mind is under the clutch, under the control, with the thing, with the act that we are doing, we are actually not doing the things with our full devotion. So it is very apparent, it is very, clear that not only in devotional practice, but in any day-to-day activity as well, it is very important for us to first make sure we are able to keep the mind at that. The moment mind goes away, it takes the consciousness of the soul into the subject that it connects to. And the whole journey of spirituality is about reversing the consciousness from outer subject to the inner subject. This will not be possible if we let the mind loose and go wander into one subject to the other subject. If mind is doing that, it simply means it is also snatching the consciousness of the soul and keeping the consciousness of the soul engaged in the outer subject from one to the other. So when we sit for meditation, the very first thing we need to do is set our consciousness free from the wavery nature of the mind. This will happen only when we cage the mind at one point and stop it so that it does not waste our consciousness or our time in connecting to the outer subject, and allow the soul to withdraw the consciousness from outer flow and reverse it to inner flow. And that is why the only way to move forward in the spiritual upliftment is to begin the journey by controlling the mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijayji. We have a few more questions. And the next question related to this topic is the voice that raises inside, is it mind, intellect, soul, and how we can differentiate it? Over to you, Vijayji.
Okay, so if I understand the question, we are trying to understand the difference between the thought that we get. Is it powered by the soul or powered by the mind?
Yes, yes.
See, it is either powered by the mind or it is not powered by the mind. If we go by that aspect, it is very easy to understand. Because for us, it is very easy to know when we are powered by the mind, because the physiological changes is related to the wind of mind. When the mind is at peace, when the mind is at rest, your body, your behavior, your actions is also very restful in nature. But when there's a strong wind of mind, when you are under the influence of lust, ego, greed, emotions, you will find the physiological changes also. Your heartbeat may increase. Some chemical changes will happen in your brain. You will not feel that restful. You'll be at rage. So when any decision that you make in that strong wind of mind, without giving enough thought on it, enough contemplation on it, that is when the sudden decision and the sudden act that we do is powered by the mind. But all the decisions or all the thought of mind is also not bad. We should not consider mind always an enemy. The thought is always generated with the help of mind. Without help of mind, no thought will come to you. When the same mind is supportive, when it is in good state, in pious state, at that moment it sync up with what the soul wishes, and it rather helps in raising the soul in the spiritual journey. So the thought that you get could be conducive of spiritual journey or could be a deviation based on what state of mind you are in. When the mind is in very uncontrolled state, at that moment, it may or may not be a good decision. And that is why any voice or any thought that you are hearing inside, we must not act on it when we are at rage, when we are at restless situation. Allow the mind to settle down, have full control on it, sit peacefully. At that moment, the mind and soul will sync up, and the voice that you get will be always good, will always be favorable to you. So to recognize whether the voice is from the mind or from the soul, just introspect whether you are in restless situation or you're in restful situation. If you're restless, it could be the voice from the mind which is not in favor of the soul. When you are in restful situation, then It's very high chances based on what level of knowledge you have acquired, based on your knowledge, how much awakened you are, your decisions, your thought will always be favorable to the soul. Jai Sadhguru.
Thanks a lot, Vijayji, for explaining this question. We have just a couple of more minutes left for this, so I just want to put a last question, many more questions, and remain firm in the path of spirituality. Over to you, Vijayji.
Yeah, this question is looks like simple, but very difficult to answer, because our entire life is surrounded by so much of deviations. 5 subjects are always there, strengthening the 3 pillars of spirituality, which is seva, sadhana, and satsang. So if we aspire to keep our devotion firm, we all need to do is attain the right satsang, perform the right seva, and perform the right sadhana. Jai Sadhguru.
Thanks a lot, Vijayji, for explaining these questions, which is related to today's topic, which talks about the current situation, as well as try to know last phase of today's session, where we will conclude our session with the Shanti part. The final prayer is Shanti part. In this, we chant for everyone who exists in this universe. May Lord Sadgurudev bless the entire cosmos with peace, love, and prosperity. I'll request Vinita ji to recite last few lines of Shanti part. Over to you, Vinita ji.
Thank you, Sudhanshu ji. Just Shanti part. हे प्रभु शांति स्वरूप हो, शांति शांति में शांति, शांति शांति जन शांति हो, पूर्ण शांति में शांति। हे प्रभु शांति प्रदान कर, दूर हो सर्व शांति, देव सदा फल शांति में, शांति शांति सुख शांति। बोलिए सद्गुरुदेव की जय। Back to Sudhanshu ji.
Thanks a lot, Vinita ji, for reciting last few lines of Shanti part. As in today's session, we tried to explore the topic, is really mind stronger than the soul? And during this discussion, we got to know the property of mind as well as the property of soul. We also got to know how and why mind distracts you from your own goal, and how intellect play a very vital role in taking decision in your life. And the decision which you will take based on your intellect and knowledge, that will actually decide in your life that who is more stronger. Is it mind or your soul? इसमें तब कल्याण है, पकड़ लगाओ मन. This itself explains that what's the true path, and to achieve that path, he explained that we need to follow the 3 pillars, which is seva, sadhana, and satsanga. In our next session, we will discuss one more topic, related to mind. And the topic is, what is fear and can it be managed? So we will discuss this topic in our upcoming session, which is on 22nd of September. I would request everyone to please post your questions on WhatsApp or on slido.com. And if you're listening us in Facebook, Mixlr, and YouTube, please like and subscribe our channel. By this, I would like to conclude today's session. Thank you very much, and just a wave to all of you.